All right, so this morning we had some news events. We had CPI numbers released this morning at 8:30 a.m. and we did get some volatility. We first got a pretty quick move to the upside. We came outside the value area high of this local range, and then we proceeded to dump down and take out the lows after New York opened. And we do have some more volatility events coming later today in about 2 hours from when I'm recording. So hopefully about 1 hour from when this is posted, depending on how quickly I can edit it. And yeah, that is the FOMC meeting. If you had a Forex Factory FOMC meeting minutes today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And so, we might be able to expect some more volatility later. I basically want to quickly go over some of my trading plans and basically just what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. So the past few days have been, relatively uneventful compared to, what we saw, in the days before that. We, had lots of volatility, Bitcoin getting, very violent moves to the upside. And over the last few days, we've just been kind of consolidating up here. And I mean, if you go to a higher time frame, this isn't exactly, a bearish thing in my opinion, consolidating above, previous highs. We got a breakout and are now consolidating. Yes, we could, kind of do that Bart Simpson pattern where we consolidate here, maybe take out the highs again, and then eventually just kind of give back this whole move, this, whole area of inefficient price action. But I gotta say, looking at Market Cipher, a lot of time frames, the money flow is starting to look a lot better. 4-hour money flow is putting in higher highs. 2-hour money flow putting in higher highs. Not exactly looking super weak right now, even though momentum has come down a lot and we are just now printing a red dot here. 1-hour money flow very locally is kind of getting a move to the downside, but overall it is very thick still. We kind of pumped up here and the money flow was not super thick on this move to the upside, but since we've been consolidating here, it continued to get thicker. But, now it is kind of bleeding out just a little bit. I'd say not the most bearish thing in the world for sure, the money flow being this thick, but, it is starting to bleed out a little bit. And, the 24-minute money flow, you can really start to see that bleed out. Some of the midterm time frame money flows have come down a lot. And, the 12-minute is sort of in a very local uptrend right now. Maybe it wants to turn around and kind of keep going. I could see that as a possibility where, these midterm time frames just kind of turn around out of nowhere just because the high time frames are, continuing to grow. The money flow is getting thicker in the green. So, not exactly clear signals. The midterm time frame money flows show that we might want to retrace a little bit, but, overall I wouldn't be surprised if we just kind of turn that around if we see a violent move to the upside. Or if we see a violent move to the downside, if the FOMC meeting dumps us and we start to give back this move down here, then, we will probably start to see this higher time frame money flow just sort of start to turn to the downside, and maybe we won't really get much out of this. And very locally, we did just get an SFP from the last higher low, which was right here. So that could technically be a bullish thing. Maybe that means price wants to come back up to the highs. And on the higher time frames, we could technically retrace all the way back down to this low and still put in a higher low, or even SFP it and still kind of continue this larger term uptrend that we have on like the 4-hour. And I have been saying that I think a retest of this value area high and previous resistance could be, overall bullish if we can hold that as support now. If we can flip that area of previous resistance into support, we may be able to continue this uptrend, and maybe Bitcoin will want to push higher. We do also have the monthly open right around this area, and I'm sure if you pull some fibs out, there's a golden pocket or something right around there. We can take that from different lows. And yeah, that one seems to line up pretty nicely. We got the golden pocket 786 area, and this would also fill this area of inefficient price action that we have right here. So if we start dumping to the downside, that is probably the zone I'll be keeping my eye on. And I've just been scalping this little local range right here. I've taken a few trades in here the past few days. I took a short from that golden pocket retracement. There was some other confluence here, but that is a secret level, so I can't really talk about that. But this was a scalp short I took, rode that down towards the lows, took a lot of profits down here, and then I took a scalp long from this weekly level as I saw that we were holding it as support. And I also took another scalp long somewhere in this area. That one ended up getting stopped out at a break even though. Both of these trades ended up being pretty profitable for me. And we did just come down to SFP these lows. Unfortunately, I did not take this trade. I was waiting for just a little bit lower. I wanted to come down towards this zone. I was looking for this trade idea once I saw that we kind of got a deep move down below that low. I was kind of thinking, okay, we might come down to this level. And again, this is a secret level that I cannot talk about. It's a new strategy I'm trying out. And yeah, we also had a little wick over here that we could have SFP'd right around that area. So I did not take this trade of the SFP. I was waiting for a little bit lower. But now, we could look for a few trade ideas here, either an SFP of this low to that zone I was watching. We front ran it, so now we could SFP that. Or we could look for some absorption if we get a golden pocket retest here. And let's go over to Coinalyze and see if some absorption is looking likely. And I'd say it is looking likely. We're seeing new trades opening up. It is longs at this point, but if price starts coming back down to this golden pocket, I would not be surprised if we saw some FOMO shorters here. That tends to happen. So if CVD comes down, makes a new low, and open interest continues to increase, that would be pretty much what I'm looking for there. And as for shorts, I have this trade idea up here, a potential trade off the previous range value area high. Yeah, I think this value area high back here is going to be pretty significant. And then, if we keep pumping above that, I still have these untapped daily levels marked out up here. This daily actually has confluence with this little local value area high that we have right here. So that is interesting. I'd also be watching both of these highs, either this high or this one that we just put in. I'd mark both of those out because we could SFP either of them. And yeah, really right now, those are like the main trades I'm seeing. Unless we really see some, confident signals like absorption into the value area high in between the golden pocket 786. I probably wouldn't want to trade much in the middle of this range here. Especially considering we have FOMC soon, so the volatility can make it very hard to take trades in the middle of ranges because we could come up, get a massive reaction, and then just immediately slice through that level. That happens all the time. So I'd definitely be careful around the FOMC time. And yeah, I'd really only be taking trades here if I see very confident entries. And I'm able to get a good entry, if price comes up and then comes all the way down to here by the time I'm ready to enter. I'm probably not going to take the trade because at that point, I'm risking a lot more than I'm willing to. And there's a good chance that price can just come up and stop me out very quickly with, those Darth Maul candles that happen during those volatility events. So I'll really only be looking for trades if I am very confident in them. And yeah, right now that's pretty much what I am looking at for Bitcoin. Really, I'm just trading the local range at the moment. I did also just take another XRP long. I took a long from the golden pocket. We also kind of SFP'd these lows, these local lows, and we deviated the value area low of this range. So that, was a trade idea I was looking at for XRP. I'm not quite sure how confident I am in this. I mean, we are seeing divergences. Also, because Bitcoin SFP'd its lows, that's really the only reason I wanted to take this. I had a much better entry on the XRP trade than the Bitcoin one because by the time Bitcoin actually reclaimed its low, I would have had a pretty bad entry. I would have had to enter like all the way up here. And yeah, in terms of risk reward for, what I'm targeting, that wouldn't be the best. So I went with the XRP one. For Bitcoin, really, I'm just waiting for it to pick a direction. Maybe this FOMC meeting will give us the direction, either down or up. But, also I would be happy just continuing to range here. I'm happy just trading the range as long as we're up here. All right, well, I'm going to try and get this uploaded as soon as possible. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you all in the next one.